Magandang araw sa inyo lahat. Ako si John Vic. Today ay didiscuss natin ng limit laws. So, ano nga bang limit laws? Let C and K be a real number so that the limit of x as x approaches to fx and the limit of x as x approaches to c, gx exist. Let's now discuss the limit laws. First is the constant rule. The limit of k as x approaches to c is equal to k.
So ito ang nating halimbawa. The limit of 2 as x approaches to a will equal to 2.
Number 2, identity rule. The limit of x as x approaches to c is equal to c.
So the limit of x as x approaches to 2 will equal to 2.
Sum rule. The limit of f of x plus g of x as x approaches to c is equal to the limit of f of x plus limit of g of x as x approaches to c.
So this is an example of our sum rule. Let's say that the value of g of x is equal to 2 and f of x is equal to 3. Let's do this format when using the basic laws. Substitute the value of the functions and add.
Difference rule. The limit of f of x minus g of x as x approaches to c is equal to the limit of f of x minus the limit of g of x as x approaches to c.
Ito ang ating difference rule. Parehas lang siya sa sum rule, ngunit nababago lang ang kanyang symbol. So in this example, let's say that fx is equal to 3, that g of x is equal to 6. Let's subtract, and it will equal negative 3.
Next is number 5, constant multiple rule. The limit of k times f of x as x approaches to c is equal to k times the limit of f of x as x approaches to c.
So sa pag-solve ng constant multiple rule, we keep the value of 3 while we substitute what x approaches to, which is 2. So here, we multiply 3 times the limit of x as x approaches to 2. 3 times 2 equals to 6.
Number 6, product rule. The limit of f of x times g of x as x approaches to c is equal to the limit of f of x times the limit of g of x as x approaches to c.
So ito ang product rule. Similar lang siya sa solving ng normal multiplication, but we use the limit laws to properly understand the solving. Let's say the value of fx is 2, the value of g of x is 3. Then use the limit law format and multiply 2 times 3, which equals to 6.
Number 7, quotient rule. Where the limit of g as x approaches to c, x will not be equal to 0. Limit of f of x over g of x as x approaches to c is equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches to c over limit of g of x as x approaches to c.
So sa rule na to, sinasabi na bawal gumamit ng 0 dahil sa fact na magiging undefined ito. So let's say the value of f of x is 6 and the value of g of x is 2. We then substitute and we get 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3, which are limit.
Number 8. Power rule. If n is a positive integer, then the limit of f of x to the power of n as x approaches to c is equal to the limit of f of x to the power of n as x approaches to c. The limit of f of x will be enclosed in a parenthesis, while the power rule will be outside of the parenthesis.
So here we have the problem. The limit of 3 squared as x approaches to a, where we put the exponent outside of the parenthesis. We then simplify and multiply 3 by 3, which is 9.
Number 9. Root rule. If n is a positive integer, then the limit of the square root of f of x as x approaches to c will equal to the limit of f of x as x approaches to c square root, with the power rule n outside of the square root.
The limit of 8 cubed as x approaches to c, we put the limit inside the cube root. We then simplify, which equals to 2. Ngayon ay magsasolve tayo ng tatlong equations kung saan pwede kayong sumunod. Kindly pause to try and solve it by yourself. So the limit of 2x squared plus 4x minus 8 over 4x plus 2 as x approaches to 2. We then use the limit laws to properly understand the formula. We then simplify the equation . Multiply 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2 minus 8 is equal to 0, which you should have not written over 10. So 8, 10, divide both sides by 2 is equal to 4 over 5. So next is the limit of square root of 4 plus 2x minus 3x squared as x approaches to 3. We use the basic laws . Then simplify the formula, as you will get 2 plus 6 minus 27. So 2 plus 6 is 8 minus 27 should be negative 19. So the last equation, the limit of x squared plus 2x plus 4 as x approaches to 1/2, we use the limit laws . So 1 over 2 squared plus 2 times 1 over 2 plus 4. So 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 is 1/4 plus 2 times 1 over 2 is 2 over 2, which we will need to simplify. So 1 over 4 plus 5. So 1 over 4 plus 5, we multiply 4 times 5 and add it to 1. We keep the denominator 4, which gives us 21 over 4, which is our limit.